Well, good morning. Well, good morning. My goodness gracious, I'm still waking up. Good evening, everybody. If you're on the East Coast, it's 6:30 ish, 6:35. Good. Around that time. It's the last. It should be the last day of February, but because it's leap year, we got one more day left. Why is there a leap year? Well, because the Europeans didn't want to use the Native American calendar. Had they did that, there'd be no need for a leap year, or 30 days in a month and all that kind of stuff. Because the months would last, I think, 32 points, I don't know, 32 days, give or take, instead of the 30, 31 we have, which is just ridiculous. But anyway, different story for a different time. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who is following me on Rumble. Not a whole lot of people, got about 12 subs. Need to go ahead and hopefully get it up, get that to 20. Go ahead and migrate over to the Rumble page if you don't mind. This and sub. It's where I'm gonna be doing some other content, things like that. If you want to hear that type of content, it's just better to do it on that platform. It's a smaller platform for small folks like me. It's not for people who have over 20,000 subs. It's for people like me who have 5,000 and less and then up. So why do they call it Rumble? Because the people who run it are dedicated to freedom of speech, even if it causes a rumble. So they're not into the cancel culture and all that stuff. So they just think YouTube is being patently unfair. Let me leave a link to the page. Want to big it up. Also, a big announcement about the channel. We're about to go corporate, as I have been approached by a major influencer channel, meaning their product placement channel, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing that for the channel. So we're going to see how that works out. But I mean, if somebody had told me, I don't know, somebody told me years ago when I started that I was going to get a contract, pretty much as a contract, that I was going to get that, I would have told you that you were mad. Like, there ain't no way in hell somebody's going to approach me with an independent contracting role. So, but it has happened, and I am happy to say that, yeah, I'm glad it happened. So I had a poll up there, but make sure that is Rumble. It's free. You don't pay for it. I thought I had my poll up there. I did not. So here we go. Let me go ahead and put this back in there. All right. So here is your poll today. Make sure you vote. Make sure you sub. You got 3 jobs to do tonight. Well, 4. Number 1, you got to hit the like button. Come on. You got to get the likes up. Number 2, make sure you go to Rumble and sub to that Rumble page. It's free. And when it comes up, it looks just like YouTube, except it's green, where YouTube is red. So but it's the same type of system. It's a safe system. Make sure you go over there and check that out. And if you like it, let me put it like that. If you like it, sub, okay? I've got a couple things up there. And I had a podcast on there the other day, and I'm going to be doing another one on there. That's where Thunder Thursday will be. Well, I don't know, because I'm late person tomorrow, so we may miss Thunder Thursday depending on what time I get out of there. But again, Thunder Thursday, that's where it's going to start being. Okay. The next thing you have to do, so after you hit the like button and you go over there and check out that channel and see if you want to sub or not, make sure you share the video, okay? Make sure you share the video. And finally, the most important thing you got to do is just listen and participate. That's it. That's what you have to do. And it's okay. Like, I got that poll up there. Pause. We had that poll up there. And make sure you vote in that poll. Needs your participation, all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So let's get into the story that everybody has been talking about. And everybody wants to know where I was. Why wasn't I on 60 frames, no lag? Well, because Porter Rock has downsized the podcast. Actually, just kidding. We went to go see the movie Dune Part 2. And Dune 2 is the best science fiction movie I've seen in 10 years. And that's hard for me to, and you all know how much I like the movie Tenet. this is better than Tenet. This is way better than Tenet. Like, I didn't think a sci-fi movie. I mean, this is better than Tenet. This is better than Interstellar, which is exactly 10 years old this year. This is better. And just really, really good. So make sure if you like the first one, you're going to love the second one. I mean, but if you didn't like the first one, don't worry about it. But it's the best sci-fi movie I've seen in 10 years. Probably since, maybe Rogue One. I think Rogue One came out in 2016, I think. So, but go check that out. So, J Ro says I'm sub to you, and all right, well, cool. Make sure J Ro follow J Ro's lead over there. Give me like the 12 subs, okay? That way we can start having more fun over there. So, I still don't know how to stream directly there. Like, I don't think PlayStation allows you to stream directly there, but yeah. And each time I set up a Rumble, I have to enter the stream key and URL over and over and over and over. So it is what it is. That's the way it's set up. I don't know how to make it work any differently. That's the way it works with StreamYards, because I go through StreamYards. I do not go through what you see right now. I don't go through Streamlabs. I sure I could, but I'm not ready to do that yet until I get close to, once we get over 1,000 over there, that's when I will start to really switch over. So Capono said, wish you had time to go to the movies. Yeah, this was a sneak, and we saw this at 9:20 to like 12 o'clock. That's what it was. So it was, again, it was good. It was good. Not gonna give nothing away, but it was good. So, see, I thought Final Fantasy VII released on Friday, not Thursday morning. But I'm not picking mine. Maybe it's just me. I'm not picking mine up till Friday or Saturday. So I have not even finished Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Crisis Core? I haven't even played those yet. I got them. I just haven't. They're on the backlist there. Those two games plus Resident Evil 4. That's on the backlist. So, but I'll get on Crisis Core probably this weekend. Because I cleared the weekend schedule since we did the movie thing, and yeah, Friday night we got to do the whole Chicago Wednesday and Law and Order Thursday, but then she goes to work Saturday morning, and because she's off this Friday, but she goes to work Saturday morning, so or Saturday evening, so I have Saturday evening just to relax. But we're going to talk about the Sony layoffs. We're going to talk about where it actually started. And, we're going to have to call some people out. We know Marlon Gaming Nation is an alarmist. So I certainly hope you all aren't paying attention to any alarmists. But Marlon, that's what he does. I heard J-Tech talking about this stuff and how somehow he linked it into PlayStation putting games on PC. And one has nothing to do with the other. So we're going to talk about why it happened. Again, he's got a big time hard on for Sony not to put games on PC. But again, that one has nothing to do with the other. Like nothing. So, but I wanted to start out with this story because this is today. And EA is laying off close to 700 employees. They're sunsetting games, meaning that there are games that they're just not going to support anymore. And it says moving away from future licensed IP. Now, EA, let's put this up. Let's blow this up here. Let's make this picture bigger. Let me do that. So, EA is making an Iron Man game. They're making a Black Panther game. And they're making a Star Wars Jedi game. They're the ones, they got one more game with Kyle Kestis and the crew of that ilk. So if you didn't know that they weren't making those games, they're making a Black Panther game. Now, so is Amy Hennig. I think she's making a Captain America and a Black Panther video game all in one. It's like it's gonna have T'Chaka, I think, instead of T'Challa. She's telling T'Chaka's thing. So it is what it is. So okay, so they're shuttering mobile games, F1 and MLB Tap Sports. All right, so shuttering meaning they're ending that. They're shutting that IP down. It will no longer be done. So says they are doubling down on owned IP games like Madden, the soccer game, stuff like that, sports, and massive online communities. Now, maybe online communities, maybe they bring back Medal of Honor and just put it online. Maybe, because maybe they smell, because that right now they don't think there's a big enough pond for Medal of Honor, Battlefield, and Call of Duty. But since Call of Duty has slipped a little bit, it has. I played Call of Duty 3. I finished it, uninstalled it. Not because I was angry, but because it was just it. Overall, this wasn't a great game. And Modern Warfare 1 and 2, I thought were fantastic. I thought those were fantastic games. This one, however, just wasn't as good. And there's going to be another part for it, I guess, soon next year, or this year, I should say. But they're going to go ahead and it says they're going to double down on their biggest opportunities, including their own IP, sports, and massive online community. So that. I think this is fine. However, I don't like the layoffs, and I don't care who is laying people off. All right, getting that type of email, getting that call into the office, getting that overall sense of this dread, and they give you the good old pat on the backside, and then they say, but a big F you. I mean, they give you a severance package. They may give you 5 stacks, right? They may give you $5,000. Hey, look, hope this gets you over for another few weeks, because people can't even afford to pay their rent. With, $5,000 used to pay, you could pay your rent almost for, back in the day when we were paying maybe $400 for rent. $5,000, yeah, you could pay for a whole year. You wouldn't have to worry about stuff. But now $5,000 maybe gets you 4 months if you're renting. If you have a house, I mean, you can still pay your house payment. Let's just say your house payment is $680 or something like that. Yeah, $5,000 buys you roughly 4 months. You don't have to worry about it. You can look for a job for 4 months. But again, I'm gonna make this clear. I don't care who's doing the laying off. It sucks. And I want to be 100% consistent with that. I thought it sucked when Microsoft did it. I didn't mock it. I said it stinks. And I wasn't saying that because Microsoft did it. I'm like, no, it stinks for this industry. It stinks for those people. I'm not as worried about the industry because they're making a lot of money, but I really feel for the people and their families. And I said this before. I don't like EA doing this, especially when they have huge licenses with Marvel games and which they do. They have are in Disney games and Marvel games. I think that Marvel games, that's 3 IPs. And Disney is the Star Wars game, which again, people really like the guy playing Cal Kestis. They want to see him in a live action movie. But Black Panther and Iron Man, those are huge IPs. And they're laying people off. So says here that it will allow them to drive creativity, accelerate innovation, and double down on our biggest opportunities. I call poppycock on that. I do think you probably have a lot of redundancy at EA. I mean, the people who got it the best are the people that were doing Madden. Like the brother that's over there at that studio that does Madden, they're getting ready to, they're shaping up Madden 25 now? Yeah, it's Madden 25 when it comes out. Or Madden, 24, 25. So they're literally waiting on the NFL draft. That's what they're waiting. They're waiting on free agency and the NFL draft. Then they can start putting the final touches into their game. And then their game comes out, in August or September? So I think August, right? Or I can't remember. And then the college game is supposed to come out. So, and they had to do NIL for that. So that is part of what you're seeing here. Says IGN understands that these layoffs will impact a number of teams across EA, largely affecting support teams. Again, there you go, redundancy. While some developers will also be impacted, EA largely hopes to move them off of canceled projects and onto other teams. So they're going to lay them off and then bring them back. Let's just say they can bring back 600, not 600, I'm sorry. They say they bring back 50%. That's still 335 people who don't have a job. And I'm trying to be nice about it. So, so here it's, again, here's EA's, where EA is. And Again, this is why you don't want to be on a support team. You want to be always be on a primary team in this business. So, like making a movie, you want to be part of that core team. You don't want to be the assistant to the assistant. So you just don't. You don't want to be the key grip. You want to be the best boy. Go look up those two jobs. So, says here that they will work and support. And this is the kick in the butt. Okay, that they're giving you. They're telling you we're going to support and work with each colleague and all that kind of stuff. That is poppycock. I mean, they're going to have people in their HR department crying. They're going to have people in their HR department say, I don't understand why this is happening. I mean, it's just going to be bad. And it's the same thing with Sony, okay? I want to make that clear. It says another blow to the games industry. Roughly, the cuts impacted roughly 10,000 developers. Okay, all right, let's start at the beginning. This marks yet another major blow to the games industry, coming off of a year and a half, that's 18 months, of ongoing mass layoffs at studios of all sizes. The cuts impacted roughly 10,000 developers in 23, and we're already at 8,000 in the first 2 months of this year. This is a massacre, okay? They talk about Sony laying off 900. They Supermassive laid off 90. Jeez. So in 24 hours or 48 hours, there have been 990 people have lost their jobs in 48 hours. So now here's what happened. And this is why what J-Tech said was complete. Like I said, I couldn't believe what I heard him say. But what he said was complete bullshit. This is simply because it says that there are analysts that says this suggests the wave of mass cuts is occurring due to the company overspending and overhiring during the COVID-19 pandemic. So again, that's why a lot of people are getting laid off. It's the sales too, but they overhired during the pandemic because they had to do what? Work from home. And that person needed help because they didn't have that person they could turn to and say, hey, how do I make this do this? Hey, I can't get this color right. So they had to hire other people. It also includes poor investment decisions from company leaders, struggles around the growing size, scope, and expense of making games. That right there, that got to get under control. I mean, you can look and see how much I put in the community chat there in the description. I should say how much money that those games Sony made cost. And I'm like, Spider-Man, $350 million. The movies didn't cost that much. I mean, really think about that. The movies don't cost that much. And it only cost Sony $229 million to purchase Insomniac. It only cost them that much money. So the IP that they made for Sony with Spider-Man cost more than the damn studio. You can't do that. You cannot do that going forward. It goes on to say they're going to power their creators. This is the hogwash that I'm talking about. This is the PR damage control that they're doing. Okay? As a company full of creators and storytellers, we believe in the value of teams innovating together. Again, so they're just going to put more teams, marry them together and say, now you're going to do John's job. And you're going to do Dave's job. And you're going to do Mary's job. Even though there were 3 people doing that job, we're just going to give it to one person. Okay? We're just going to give it to one person. There's nothing. That's it. That's what they mean. Shape culture and grow fandom. I mean, the Star Wars fandom is there. The Madden fandom is there. Everybody's waiting on the Black Panther game and everybody's waiting on the Iron Man game. Okay, fine. But let me tell you this right now. If they don't get the people's likenesses, which T'Chaka, they can use anybody. So that's Amy Henny's game, I think. They're going to use T'Chaka. They can get anybody, I think it'll be, I can't think of his name. It'll either be, is it Chidi Euphoria? I think that's his name. He was in 12 Years a Slave, or the brother that played that Kree in Guardians of the Galaxy, that black man. He's voiced T'Challa already before, I think. That's who voiced him in the animated series. So shout out to the late, great John Snepp. He helped produce that. So EA cut 5% of its workforce. And it's tough. I mean, this is tough. And I'm not putting this out there to say, well, they did it too, because that's what people were saying today. I'm like, no, there's more stuff going on. I think Alana Pierce, I know a lot of guys don't like Alana Pierce because they just think, well, she's just a pretty face and she got to where she is because of what she looks like. Okay, I'll grant you some of that may be true, but she's actually good at her job and she's really good at analyzing what's going on. And she made a legitimate point when she said that these companies are just greedy. These companies are greedy. This is greed because they're making a ton of money and they're just being greedy. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from the companies, but this sucks. This sucks. So, but let me show you something here. Let's look at why this happened to Sony. Now, I'm not going to put that all up on the screen. Let me take this down. We all know what happened. Now, and again, the reason why I wasn't on 60 frames no lag yesterday was simply because I went to a movie. I went to a sneak movie, and that was the best time for me to go see it. There we go. There we go. So let me close that. Okay. So I'm going to put this game right here up here so y'all can see it. That's Ghost of Tsushima. All right. This game is going to go to PC this year. It will go to PC by the end of the year, maybe early next year. This game going to PC has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with what happened with Sony. So when J-Tech was saying what he said, I was like, what the hell is he talking about? One has nothing to do with the other. And yeah, Jim Ryan, I don't like what he did. He went and posed pictures with all these studio people, and then and he knew they were. I can't say. I would be shocked if he didn't know they were already shuttering that studio. Now they didn't close Media Molecule. They weren't affected. Sony Bend was not affected. I don't know about, was Santa Monica affected? I don't know. I can't remember by seeing it. I know Naughty Dog was affected. Guerrilla was affected. Bungie is going to eventually be affected by it. I thought there were three major studios. I can't remember if Santa Monica was one of them. But you got Santa Monica, you have San Diego. They make MLB The Show. And they're allegedly making their own game right now. And they didn't cancel. As of right now, as I speak to you, Sony Bend's game is still coming out. It's still coming out. So, yeah, Fire Sprite was allegedly making the Twisted Metal online game. That's done. DVA. And now let's be honest. Well, let's start at the beginning. All right. In the beginning, this time last year, Sony was prepping to launch PSVR 2. Now, PSVR 2 came out and didn't do the numbers they thought it was going to do. It woefully underperformed. So Sony makes an adjustment because that hardware doesn't sell like it's supposed to. Now they're underwater. They have to start making the money up. Hopefully you all understand that. They have to start making the money up somehow. Something's got to give, right? So one of the things Sony did that just kind of went by the wayside is Sony raised the price of their consoles. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember Sony raising the price of its consoles. Now, they did it around the world. They didn't do it in the United States, but they did it around the world. So they had hardware come out that underperforms. That's PSVR 2. So how they try to adjust this and start making it up is putting out the PlayStation Portal. So the Portal comes out now. Put another 1 in the track. Put another in the chat. If you remember Sony coming out and saying that the PlayStation Portal is going to be counted as a console sale. Okay, the reason Sony did that was because they already knew the console was not going to sell the number it was going to. It was already underperforming. Let me make this clear. The console sold in that quarter. What up, Kenneth Williams? But it didn't sell the number. They could see it. It's like, we're not going to make this $25 million, which I said was very bullish at the time. Oh, that's a bullish number. I don't think that's the 25 million, maybe 23. But again, you trade on the trades, the extra money that you get out of the company that goes back in is based on that number, and you getting that number and then bringing that money back out, giving it to the shareholders, they can reinvest. So how do we measure it underperforming? We know that it did not sell as well as PSVR 1 in the first year. That doesn't mean lifetime sales and won't catch up, but it underperformed. So the next thing they did, they put out more hardware, the Portal, which did better than they thought. The Portal overperformed. But the two things that they needed to perform well, the console and the VR system, didn't do well. Why didn't the VR do well? Because even though it has superior technology, people didn't want it people didn't want to do a wide adoption when you can just go ahead and buy the Oculus or whatever it's called for like $299 or something like that. And it, in essence, sets up the same way. One plug, you plug it into the back of your computer or front of your computer, and you can go back door, front door, pause, and you get that done. And it sets up VR automatically, downloads it, boom, you get going. So Sony that's why they're putting their PSVR 2 on PC. And with that will come the games. Gran Turismo will be on PC. Again, Ghost of Tsushima, this is a PS4 game, okay? They remastered it, remade it for PS5. Still a very good game. Oh, this game cost $67 million to make. $67 million versus $200 million for The Last of Us. $200 million for Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West. $350 for Spider-Man. Look, those games are all good games. But I said something on 60 frames, no lag. And people kind of jumped at me, which is fine, no big deal. People have a right to their opinion. Sean Layton, what he said was very simple. It is the cost of the games are going up, which is fine. The problem is the games, the selling prices have remained stagnant. They're not keeping up with how much the games cost to make. So you know what I said on 60 frames no lag? I said the first thing that they need to do to create more revenue is to what? Raise the prices of the game. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember when Craig said, raise the prices of the game. Also, put a 1 in the chat if you remember me saying that Grand Theft Auto 6, and to me, is going to cost $99.99 out the gate. Out the gate. Now, why did I say they need to increase the price? Because they didn't sell enough consoles, so you have to increase the price of software. See, the problem, a lot of this is coming back on these people who want Sony and Microsoft to, amp the games up to 100% of what the console can do. Okay. However, that's going to cost you more money. What part of this do you jugheads not understand? All right. What part of this do you not understand? It can have an 8% lead. It's still not performing. The PS1 overperformed. That's what you all don't get. It overperformed. It did better than they thought. The PSVR 2 is underperforming. It's not doing as well as they thought. That's just the truth, guys. Now, they made adjustments. They raised the price of the console around the world. And then they put out more hardware. They put out the PS Slim. I got one. And they bundled it with Call of Duty and Spider-Man, 2 of the biggest games that you could sell. They bundled it. And again, they sold 21 million. Again, let me make this clear. They sold a shit ton of PS5s, but they didn't sell the number that they were bullish on, which was the 25 million, which I thought was just too much. I thought, like I said, 22, 23 million? Maybe. I mean, and they came in 4 million short. That's going to affect your costs on everything. Because now the shareholders are going to be like, we want our money. We gave you this money with the understanding that there was going to be our money coming back plus points, meaning that plus more money. So what's going to happen, and I'm really trying to brace you all for this, and this is not me fanboying or something like that, these games are going to go up in cost again. You better get ready to start paying more, and it will come in different type of increments. It's going to come in microtransactions. It's going to come in games selling for, say, the $69.99, but then the DLC is going to cost you $19. Similar to what Insomniac did with the first Spider-Man game. The City Never Sleeps, or whatever it's called. I can't remember what the official name of that DLC was. The City is Never Asleep or something like that. That was separate. You had to pay, what, 10 extra bucks or 15 extra bucks. Shout out to Titanfall Princess who donated that week, and that's how I got that. So, and yeah, like you said, I want my money and I want it now. Yeah, that's the way shareholders and investors are. Oh yeah, they'll go out and play golf with you and drink wine and hang out and go to the strip bar. But damn it, when that's time for that money to come in, it's screw you. Where's my money? Shout out to the movie was it Donnie Brasco? It had Ray Liotta in it. Rest in peace. And he was talking, what was the name of that movie? It was like they would, they won't care. This mobster buys into a bar, and all of a sudden, all that guy's problems that run the bar go away. He has problems with a supplier. He said Polly would send somebody over to that supplier and make sure, yeah, Goodfellas, thank you. Yeah, so you know where I'm going with this, Decimy. And what did he say? If Polly would handle these other problems on the outside with their distributors, with the people bringing you the stuff, with suppliers. But when it was time to pay up, Paulie didn't care. It was screw you, where's my money? This is business. My kid is sick. Screw you, where's my money? My mom's in the hospital. Okay, screw you, where's my money? That's the way shareholders are. You're asking them to put their money into your company to grow the money. When you don't grow the money, it is screw you, where's my money? And that's what happened. So PSVR 2 comes out. It underperforms. I'm not saying it's not selling. It underperforms. Okay? Now they raised the price of the consoles worldwide. Then they put out the PlayStation Portal, which again, Sony came out and said sales of the Portal are going to count as console sales. That's because they already knew that they weren't selling enough. Again, Black Friday, when I went out shopping, PS5s were on pallets, Xboxes on pallets, they had Nintendos on pallets. So, and this was at Target. They had it at Target, they had a bunch at GameStop, a shit ton at Walmart, and this is where I live. And I live in what is called I'm in a mid-sized city in a red rural state, Kentucky. I'm in a mid-sized city. So if we had them in our mid-sized city, imagine what Orlando or Miami or Austin or Houston or Los Angeles or Vegas, major cities, New York, Jersey, not Jersey, but Trenton, stuff like that, Kansas City, major cities, New Orleans. So they had plenty of stock out there, but they didn't sell enough. And again, I want to make this clear. They sold 21 point something million, which was a record. That was a record. But it wasn't the number they put out to the shareholders. And because of that, their stock dipped. Now, how many of you all saw Sony yesterday? If you have Sony stock, because my stock alert went off. When they laid those people off, my stock went up. My stock went up. Yeah, because now, even though you're contracting, you're getting rid of people, you're going to save money in the long run. Now I can put more money back in. By the way, I think each Sony share is like $86 if you all want to share. And if they're going to put out a PS5 Pro, which they are, that means that's going to be that the stock will go up again. I mean, there are people saying that they shouldn't put out the PS5 Pro. Why not? Like, literally, why not? They have a contract with AMD. They're not going to break the contract with AMD. Are you mad? So I'm telling you all right now, you all better just brace for it. Like Chocolate Thunder was like, you know what? I'm telling you to get it ready. So I'm talking to the people specifically who have an issue with these games going up. Because how arrogant are you to want Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo to go ahead and I hear people saying it. I hear Marlon the reactionary saying it. They need to go ahead and make these games and push these consoles. Okay, fine. But that's going to take more time, which costs more money, and they're not passing it off to the consumer. Again, these games are going to go up, guaranteed to you, because that's the fastest way for them to recoup the money. So yes, the next Spider-Man game is going to get made by Insomniac. Sony ain't going to give them $350 million. They may give them $250. And that's going to be based on what that game they feel is going to do. 200, definitely. They're gonna have to give them the same amount that they gave them to make the first one. But they're gonna like, you made the first one. Put a 1 in the chat if you played the first Spider-Man and you thought it was a good game. And remember, this is with the DLC. So put a 1 if you played Spider-Man on the PS4 and you enjoyed it, okay? And you did like I did and you double dipped and you got it again when you bought the Miles Morales one. Okay, so a lot of you all have enjoyed it. Well, there's 2 people that said it was good. I enjoyed it. So, and that was $200 million. So that's fine. That's going to be your budget going forward, $200 million. Again, they paid $229 million for the damn studio. Your game should not cost as much as I pay for your studio. You get it? You've been watching Games to speaking. There's no such thing as his truth. There's only the truth. So when Sean Layton, who said this over half a decade ago, was like, hey, look, it's not the cost of the games. It's that the price at the sell point is stagnant. That has to change. Again, yeah, $89 and $99 is what you're going to be paying. And I think the game that they test that with is Grand Theft Auto. Because people are going to be like, well, all right, well, fine. It's Grand Theft Auto. That's what they're going to say. Spider-Man 2 made over. I didn't say that. I mean, look, Corey, I'm not talking about the money that was made. I'm talking about the profit margin that they didn't hit. All right, they made over $700 million. There's no doubt about that. But they only made $350 million in profit. If it was a $200 million game, it'd be over $500 million. So what's better? Somebody bringing you $500 million or $350? They're both good, but if I promise you your money back plus points and I don't get it to you, you're going to be like, I don't care. You're going to be screwed. Where's my money? Yeah, the profit margin right now on that game at $700 million. And let's take Corey at his word because he doesn't come in here and bullshit. So it's $350. How much did the first one make? What was the margin on that? So you see, the problem isn't that their games aren't making money. The problem is they're not making the money that they need them to make. Now, can somebody tell me what the fuck that has to do with putting games on PC or what J-Tech was talking about? Because you all sound, I'm telling you all, y'all, listen. You all sound like these PC clowns that say, I spent $2,000 for my 4090. And these studios, they need to make their game so that my 4090 and my i9 is maxed out. That's what you sound like. Just because you went out and you were stupid and bought that kind of equipment doesn't mean that the people making the game is going to max it out. When did that happen? And it flips for Sony. Hey, look, these clowns want you all to push the console, but then they don't want to pay. They want you to spend more time optimizing everything. Fine. That's fine. But it's screw you, where's my money? So what they did was they laid people off because that's the fastest way to start getting the value back into the company. Which may not make sense. You're like, well, if you're contracting, why are you? Because even though you're getting rid of employees, you're publicly traded. So you're going to just keep on keeping on. Like, hey, look, we got our shareholders the money back. That's going to entice other people to invest. That's what happens. It has nothing to do with PC. I mean, again, I don't know why J-Tech is having such a hard time with that. And I'm not talking negative about it. I just don't get it. I don't get how he collates them not selling enough PSVRs that underperforms, them selling the Portal, which overperforms, them putting out a console that underperforms in that quarter, has nothing to do with PC. Nothing. This game, so here's what he is saying. Here's what people like J-Tech are saying. This game right here is a PS4 game. Yeah, it says PS5 on it. I'm sure you can see that, right? You can see it now. This game has reached its maximum potential of sales on PlayStation. Them putting this game on PC is 100% profit. Period. It doesn't matter if it sells 250,000 or 350,000. It's all profit coming in, especially if Sony does the port. If they go through Nixxes to do this port, which is my understanding, if Nixxes is really picked up, this again, they picked up Nixxes to do the PC porting. I thought it was hilarious that guys like J-Tech bragged about Nixxes Studio coming over. Welcome to the family. But I'm like, you do realize they're doing that to control the PC port money. So, I mean, that's reality that you all got to get into. Now, I'm not here to say I'm keeping it raw, because everybody tells you that. I'm keeping it raw, I'm keeping the same energy. No, this is just business. This is why I'm here. I am not here to tell people to do whatever. This is what happened. Now, what do I think Sony is going to do? I think they're still going to make single player games. We already knew Sony was not going to do all 12 of those live service games. They said they were going to cancel 6 of them. And they canceled 6 of them. So that's done. They're putting 6 out, including Fair Games and Concord and I don't know whichever one else. So, but apparently the Horizon game, the MMO, they're going to do an MMO. Trying to do it again. Good luck, because MMOs just don't work on consoles. Maybe the Horizon game will be different. They're trying to do an MMO. They're trying to do their version of Elder Scrolls. That's what they're trying to do. And I have no problem with that. But the problem I'm going to have is that if it comes out and it ain't as big as Elder Scrolls. See, Elder Scrolls is in its 6th edition. Pause on the big word. But yeah, so what are we going to see here? I mean, again, I'm not here to say that it's not going to be a good, fun game. Well, Component, they already said what they were doing with PC and mobile and things like that. They already said what they were doing. So, I mean, that's why I'm not worried. I hear people saying day and date. No, because Hiroki Takoki already said this is what we're going to do going forward. He already said that. The canceled games really screwed them. Well, it screwed the studios. They bought Firesprite and they canceled the game Firesprite was making. They backed Deviation Games and they canceled that game. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, look, I'm just look, man. It sucks. So you all better get ready to spread your cheeks and start paying more money for your games. Which I told you was going to start happening, because not because the games are You have longer dev cycles. You have more. You have them wanting to put more emphasis on these kits and people to go ahead and spend more time doing it. More time means more money. That's what it means. When you got these yay-hoes out here saying spend more time optimizing the game, but then, oh, I'm not going to pay you more for the game. That's bullshit. Nah, you're going to pay more. You want more gas? You're going to pay for it. Fuck out of here. No, this entitlement is done. And if this is what it takes to move people out of the entitlement mind, that's what it takes to move people out. I mean, great day in the morning. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6, $89 to $99. And guess what? You're going to pay for it. And you know why you're going to pay for it? Because they're going to tell you it's worth it. Like when you go to a restaurant, hellfire, you go to Jeff Ruby's and you order that porterhouse and you be like, damn, $99? And you know what that waiter, I'm sorry, not even a waiter. You know what the maitre d' is going to say? Yes, sir, $99. It's worth it. That's it. Because it's worth it. Why does Haagen-Dazs ice cream cost more than the Kroger brand? Because Haagen-Dazs is like, hey, our stuff's worth it. And guess what? People are buying Haagen-Dazs ice cream. You go to Kroger and get the Kroger brand ice cream. It's cold. It got chocolate chips in it. They got mint. All that Haagen-Dazs though, they got that one, which I don't eat it anymore. What they got that one that tastes like, imagine eating a Reese cup that's cold. I forgot, peanut butter or something. Peanut butter chocolate. That, oh, man. Woo! So, let's make the games $350. No, the games are going to go up to about $100 because that's where they need to be anyway. They need to be about $112. You better be at 30 frames. What if it is, you just don't buy it? You just don't buy it. You wait for a sale. Now, you can do that the same, but I think what they're going to do is still sell at $69.99, but they're going to cut out parts of that game. That's what I said about The Last of Us Part 2. Remember, I'm like, man, this game, it felt too long. When Ellie went after Abby, when she ran into that other group, the Rattlers, that could have been cut out DLC. That could have been, because that was like another 4 hours or 3 to 4 hours of gameplay. That could have been 20. They could have sold that for $24.99 separate. Oh, that's what they're going to do to the next Spider-Man. It will come out in increments. Now, they're just going to put it out, say it's $69.99. It's going to be about a 10 to 12 hour game. Maybe. And then they're going to put out part 2. Guess what? They'll have a deluxe edition. I'm telling you right now, they'll have a deluxe edition for $119.99. Guess what? You going to buy it? The deluxe edition, it'll just come with all of that. As soon as it hits, bam, it'll say, your PlayStation will alert you that it's got a download available, and then you'll just download that new part of the game. They talking about opening up Queens. Not Queens, I'm sorry. Fire. What is that part? Because they already have Manhattan. They've got, what is it? Is it the Bronx? I don't think they have the Bronx. They have what? Queens. Miles is from Harlem. Miles is from Harlem, right? I think it's Harlem. And you have the Manhattan Island with the big, with all that, the bright lights, big city. I think they want to add the Bronx to it. Guess what? If you add the Bronx to it, now you can put in Daredevil, stuff like that. You're going to pay. You're going to pay your grown-ass men, your grown-ass women that its time is over. I mean, it's like when I lived in an apartment and I had a 2-bedroom apartment for $540 a month. And it stayed $540 a month for 5 years. I ain't going nowhere. I got 2 bedrooms. Swimming pool right out there I can jump in. Park right across the street. Guess what? Went up. Had to go from my 2 to a 1. Like, man, this is nuts, but okay. So when you understand what happened here, it has nothing to do with putting games on PC. I don't know why he says that. I mean, I don't know why he was trying to make a collation. You know, they don't buy your games, so just don't put them over there. Okay, they do buy the games. I know somebody who bought Spider-Man, and they're buying Forbidden West. So never rent is throwing away money. Well, it didn't used to be like that. It's throwing away money now. So Brooklyn. Miles is from Brooklyn? No, Captain America is from Brooklyn. Cap's from Brooklyn. Parker is from Queens. I thought he was from Harlem. I could have swore he was from Harlem. And they want to add, they're saying they're adding Brooklyn. They want to. Dude, Brooklyn Bridge was on there. I thought it was already on there. I thought it was the Bronx they didn't have on there. I could be wrong though, right? I'm an old man. So I got to take my dementia medication. So, but somebody can look that up. It's fine. My point to you is that they want the next game to be bigger. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to give them a $200 million budget, and then they're going to ask them to go out and recoup some of that money. And guess what? We're going to buy the next Spider-Man. He moved to Harlem after his dad died. Isn't that what happened in the game? I can't tell. To me, it looks like he's in the same apartment. Well, see, it never shows his apartment in the first game. He's always just out. You just kind of take him over. You move around with him. I don't think it shows his place in the first Spider-Man game. The first Spider-Man, I thought the Miles Morales game, he was already living in Harlem. But I could be wrong, okay? I want to make that clear. I could be wrong about that. So, it's been 4 years since Spider-Man Miles Morales came out. Remember, that was a launch game. Wolverine worth $100. Make it ready to pay for it. Well, when Wolverine, they can put in Fantastic Four. Yes, they can. Guess what? You're going to pay for it. There's a Fantastic Four Easter egg in Spider-Man on the top of a building. I don't know which one, but I actually took a picture of it when you can still post pictures on Twitter. And, can't no more, right? I go to post and it's like I have nowhere to put it. So I have all these pictures taken, but nowhere to put it. So even that idiot in Resident Evil 4 with a chainsaw. I was running around that place on Resident Evil 4, and that dude came out with a chainsaw. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? You think J-Tech will get over it? Again, I don't know why he collated the Sony putting games on PC with what happened. One has nothing to do with the other. Like, literally, one is over here. One is grape Kool-Aid. One is lemonade Kool-Aid. They're both Kool-Aid, but they don't taste nothing alike. Like, it doesn't. It makes no sense what he was saying. So, but again, that's my opinion. I'm not going to talk down on the dude. That's shout out to J-Tech. But I don't understand how he got to that point. Like, could he make that connection? Well, you putting games on PC, they don't sell your game. They don't buy your games, and so far you're losing money. When every game they sell on PC is 100% profit. What's he talking about? You see what I'm saying? What's he talking about? It's 100% profit. The reason why they laid off people didn't start this year. It started 3 years ago when they overhired for the pandemic. And on top of, they did not make the money they thought they were going to make. They made money, but the profit margin, put the word in there, put profit margin in there. That came in underneath what they thought they were going to have. If you tell me we're going to have a 9% profit margin off of what we're doing this year, and you come to my office with we got 4%, you're getting fired. He does live in Brooklyn. All right, I thought that's where Steve Rogers. Okay, all right. That's fine. It's not about that. You're gonna get fired. Steam takes a cut. Yeah, but if it's from Nix's, Sony keeps a lot of that money, close to 80%. So I mean, it's profit. My point to you is that it's profit. And it's all profit. If you're going to profit at 80%, you do it. Yeah, Capono, you a businessman. You're getting fired. Period. If J-Tech was at my company and he said, we don't want you to add more money to it, I would have him out of there so fast as he wouldn't have time to put his underwear back on. That's how fast he's getting fired. Like, oh no, you gotta go. You don't want us to make more money, you gotta go. And I don't care that it's him, it doesn't matter. One has nothing to do with the other. Nothing. Like, I mean, seriously, nothing. EA laid people off. Did that have their games are on PC, day and date on PC? Did that have something to do? I mean, again, it makes no sense, but he and other people, not just him, I want to make that clear, they got this big time hard on for Sony putting games on PC. I'm like, man, look, as long as they go ahead and they make the console a priority, which is something that Hiroki Takoki said, there is no day and date. All right, 30%, that's fine. But what if they don't put it on Steam? They put it on Epic. Epic's take is lower. See what I'm saying? That's why Sony has that deal with Epic. Even though Steam, you could, and Epic, ain't nothing wrong with Epic. The Epic store. Now, they don't give away as good as games as Steam does. But, I mean, we're getting caught up in the minutia. My point to you is that one has nothing to do with the other. Just straight up garbage. Garbage. That's all it is. Yeah, fire him faster than Trump. I would get it out faster than Trump. You're fired. What if Sony rolls out? What if? We'll talk about that when it happens. I've said that they're going to have to put out a PC launcher in order to, get all 100%. You're right about that. But for now, they're just going to put some games on there, and you all better get ready to pay more for these PS5 games. Just like you're going to, hey, who remembers me saying PS5 Pro, $600? Oh, it ain't going to cost that money. All right, we're going to find out. If that thing comes out and it's $499, I will be surprised. Now, no matter what, it's going to be about $250 for me because I'm trading in my other PlayStation. Like, all right, man, you got to go. I got this Pro. I'm already saving for it. I got something called a credit card. So, but he lives in Harlem. Doesn't Miles Morales live in Harlem? So, yeah, somebody's getting fired. I'm adding to the business. But my point here is that one has nothing to do with the other. Sony's PSVR 2 underperformed the number that they thought they were going to have. And because of that, they raised the price of the console worldwide, except in the United States, I believe. And that didn't make up for it. So then they added the Portal. You're already saving $80 a month for cash for the Pro. There, now you're talking. That's what I like to see. Thinking ahead. You don't see Sony charging $600 again. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. But if I roll over and it's kind of like, $600, all right. So it may not, it's not, we're going to find out. I still think $600, but I hope I'm wrong. Because of the PS3 deal, that was overpriced. And again, you got to remember, that had better technology. So let's hope they don't make the same mistake. But if you think, like, the Pro was what, $399 or something like that? Was the Pro $399? That actually came out at a good price. So, all right, it could be $499. But I got a feeling, I'm feeling that $599. So, I'm just feeling it. So I hope I'm wrong. But my point is that that's what happened to them. They count the Portal as a console sale, and it overperformed, which is a good thing. But it didn't make up for that number. They put the Slim out in a bundle. They did everything they could to get to that 25 or whatever it was, 24.6 or 20, whatever they said, 25. Whatever that number was, they did everything they could, and they just didn't get it. Not enough new adapters came in. Not enough new adapters came in for that console. It's not that it didn't sell, but it just didn't sell what they thought it was going to sell. I think PS6 is 2029, 2030. So that's just my opinion, though. I wanted to get this out there because I was busy last night and it had a bunch of people wanting my opinion on it. I'm like, all right, well, as far as the PC thing, that has nothing to do with this. They just didn't sell enough of their hardware. It's like that new headset, as of right now, it's not selling that well because it's $149.99, and the other ones are $99.99, and now you can get them on the secondary market for $79.99. That's the reality that we're in. There's nothing wrong with the Pulse headset. Everybody talks about how much more comfortable the other one is. I know MBG said it had good bass, but Marlon said it didn't have great bass compared to the Xbox one. Again, I don't know. I could get the Xbox one to work. Remember, I bought the Xbox headset, and then I couldn't get it to set up correctly, and it was sitting up there online for hours. Like, maybe if I do this or put this on there, do that. Now I got it working with my Steel Series. It's working. So, but yeah, you're getting fired. You come to my office after we spend X amount of billions thinking we're going to get an 8 to 9% margin, and then we only get 3 to 4%, you're getting fired. Like, where did you miscalculate? But that's what happens. So Sony gets to the end of this quarter. The numbers aren't what they want it to be. The revenue isn't what it should be because the games cost so damn much. I mean, I'm going to say that again. For them to purchase Insomniac Games was $229 million. Spider-Man 2, which let me make this clear, was a really good game. I mean, it was really good, right? It was $350 million. So, I mean, does it have $150 million worth of new stuff in it? I don't know. It does in a way. It's got all that ray tracing in there. So, it is beautiful. That's a beautiful game with that ray tracing. So I really hope this kind of gets to the bottom of it. I don't like layoffs. EA laid off close to 700 people. Sony 900. It's nasty no matter how you look at it. I didn't put the EA story up there to say, well, they're doing it too. It's just you have companies that want certain profit margins, and if they can't get them, the first thing they're going to do is lay people off. I mean, they'll raise the price. That's what, look, they've done 2 or 3 things they can do. They've laid people off, and they've raised the price of the console. The next thing is the games, okay? The next thing is the games. I also think Stellar Blade is going to get delayed until the summer. I think it gets delayed to early. That way they have something coming out in the summer. That's my opinion, though. Because these games are coming on top of each other. The pause. You got Stellar Blade. You've got Rise of Ronin. You've got Dragon's Dogma. They can move one of these games out. But Stellar Blade, these games, it may not be up to them, but I just think that I think the right thing to do is to go ahead and I think the right thing to do is to delay Stellar Blade until the summer. That gives them something on the tail end of Q2. But granted, it's coming out in Q2, so maybe not. Redonis of the tech startup he worked for laid off 8 people over the past 4 months. We were a total staff of 40 staff. Okay. So now you're down to 32. Yeah, you need to be looking to get out of there, my brother, okay? Either lessen game production, raise prices, or add more microtransactions in games like Helldivers. Well, I think you're going to see them start to do that. I think you're going to see less budgets. I think you're going to see them say, okay, we're going to add DLC to these games, and which would just be cut out content. I mean, the city never sleeps. It was 3 different stories, right? That worked out fine for Sony. I can't remember if it was $19.99. Nobody complained. Nobody complained. So yeah, I mean, Spider-Man's getting the new game plus, but if they add the DLC, you're gonna pay for it. I mean, with Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, they could have charged, $14.99 for that. They didn't. To their credit, they didn't, because they were trying to do something to get more people to buy Ragnarok and get the sales up. Oh, this is free. I mean, they did it to their own detriment. Yeah, I mean, so just get ready to pay more. I mean, again, I'm not complaining about paying more. It's just if you see the game is coming out, May 18th, and they announce it is coming out in February, maybe you ought to start saving money for it if you want it if you want it the same day, the street date, as they call it. So I don't feel bad for Sony, because I thought they were aggressive, but and I can't fault a company for being aggressive. They just didn't hit the numbers. And so somebody misread the marketplace. That's what happened. That's why Microsoft is putting 4 or 5 games on PlayStation and Nintendo, because they're trying to recuperate some of the money that they thought that these games were going to make. And Phil Spencer's like, these games are at the end of their life cycle. Okay. So is Ghost of Tsushima. I have Gran Turismo, but because I don't have the VR, I haven't opened it yet. I've also got that EA game. Now it's on EA Access or whatever I got it. Is it what's the name of that game? Dead Space. Now I can just go download that game. It's been sitting here for 6 months. I bought it like on my birthday. A lot of close to 2,000 people have lost their jobs. Yeah, that's it's bad out there. I mean, like I said, we were kind of complaining today about how busy our clinic was, but we had 250 people. Now out of that, probably 220 of them show up. But damn, we were busy today. Oh, you just bought Immortals. Let us know how it is there. How it is. Well, what's going on? Yeah, like I said, I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. You're happy with your SteelSeries Nova 7. Yeah, those are good headsets. I got the 5s. I got like the basic ones. But the 5s are fine for playing Starfield and Mass Effect and all. There's a bunch of backwards compatibility games I'm playing on Xbox. So, you enjoyed the trial on Plus? Cool. Well, all that happened with Sony, and I'm not trying to downplay it because I feel bad for those people that lost their jobs, but it started last year when the PSVR 2 came out, and people went out and bought it, but they didn't sell what they thought they were going to sell. That's all. It doesn't mean something isn't selling. It just means it's not coming in at the number you thought it would sell at. If I send you out with 50 candy bars to sell, I'm expecting you to sell 50 candy bars. If you come back with 37 candy or 38 candy bars, I'm going to say you underperformed. It's not that you didn't sell. A Mass Effect 4 gameplay reveal. I don't think we get Mass Effect until 2027. That is as hard as this is for me to say. That's the 20-year anniversary of Mass Effect, because the first one came out in 2007. So I think we get a new Mass Effect game in 2027. That's just what I'm sensing from the people that are following the game. And I'm gonna try to get some Mass Effect people on a podcast. Try to get N7 Kate and Paragon and all of them. Try to get them on a podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, for me, that's a long way away. But that's why I'm saying I'm playing Mass Effect now again, because I'm just want to enjoy it while I can. Even Andromeda, to a certain point, there are things I liked about Andromeda. I thought the story was stupid, but I think overall, especially the second and third act, I really enjoyed the second and third act of Mass Effect Andromeda. I didn't like the first act, so because I was used to a better story, and it wasn't a better story. So, but Yeah, I just think we get it in 2027. That's just, I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I'm feeling. But I think it's on a 5-year development cycle, and I think that they are starting to develop it right now. There's more people are talking about it, so which is cool. Oh, you need to finish Andromeda. The mods make it. Yeah, see, I'm still confused on how to mod. I modded one game in my life, and that was just accident. I'm like, oh, the mod worked, you know. So, but yeah, I know you go what to M. You have to make an account on there, and yeah, that's a pain trying to download all that, move it into the file. I really would think at this point these developers would just say, okay, you can buy a Mass Effect Andromeda with mod support, and that will cost you more money, but it gives you mod support. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed the game. I thought the story was stupid, but as far as the gameplay and the way the game looked, I thought that was good. What am I doing? A political stream? I was gonna do one tomorrow, but I'm working late, so I may have to move it to Friday. Well, like early Friday, because Mitch McConnell, he retired. That's my senior senator in Kentucky. He retired, so his seat's up in 2026. So that'll be it. And then once some more questions come in, yeah, the gameplay is good. I mean, I'm sure if you told them at EA, your Mass Effect game is going to have great gameplay and it's going to look fantastic, because it does. But it's going to have a sucky story, and that's what we want. We want a good story. We just didn't get one. We didn't. It is what it is. And you had all the bugs at the beginning of it that they did fix, but by the time they got around to fixing all of them, it was too late. It was too late. But it's too late, baby. Yeah, it's too late. So, and everybody was mad. I mean, you had a lot of people mad. They quit on the game. Even gamer MD83 was like, I shouldn't be forced to play a game that I don't like. And she just said, yeah, she just didn't like it. And it's like, man, it really sucks when that girl didn't like your game and she was actually dating one of the developers from it. I don't know what she's doing now, but yeah, that was effed up. So, but in closing, Sony had to shutter the jobs and the studios, which again is terrible because they just didn't hit the numbers and they were aggressive. I'm not mad about the aggression, neither should you. But it's just unfortunate that you got people out here saying it's because of it has nothing to do with the PC. It just doesn't. I would tell you if it did. It ain't got nothing to do with the damn PC. All right, somebody explain Final Fantasy. I didn't think it came out until Friday. Is it coming out early for people that bought the deluxe edition? Rebirth Deluxe Edition. Is the Deluxe Edition coming out a day early? Which I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm asking. Paid $100 for the Steelbook. Yeah, now you're talking. Again, you pay more money. That's fine. Am I streaming Rebirth? No, I got to finish Crisis Core. I ain't even played that yet. Oh, it's Australia. Okay, fine. Yeah, you all have it. Yep. Came out today in Australia. There you go. Make sure y'all go buy it. If they're talking about the reviews, it's like it's Game of the Year material. Like they said, they are saying it's the Game of the Year. So I'm gonna find out. But see, I don't want to play Rebirth. I haven't even played Crisis Core or finished Final Fantasy VII yet. I got mad at Final Fantasy VII when that one girl, not Tifa, the other girl that's in that group, went up to Cloud's room and was trying to put it on him, and Cloud just wouldn't have it. I'm like, oh no, I can't have this. You know, you supposed to she wanted to bust it wide open for you, man. You need to go ahead and knock the bottom out. So that's why I was waiting. I mean, you got that big sword. Let's put it to use. So, but no, I'm excited for it. I am going to buy it on Friday. I'm buying it Friday, and I will come home with it. I will show you the proof of purchase like I always do. And there we go. You bought Rebirth Twin Pack. Okay, Cloud has discipline. Yeah, he does. He has discipline. Yeah, I guess. But Tifa is hot. I mean, Tifa is hot. She's a cute girl. I don't know between her and that girl from Stellar Blade. Both of them got some physics. So King Thrash is gonna go nuts with that girl from Stellar Blade because she got some physics. Like I rewatched that video yesterday. Even the mechanic that's helping them fix stuff got physics. So, but yeah, I like them. And Tifa is a crowd favorite, and people really love those characters. So, the fact that and Final Fantasy VII originally came out in the late '80s, early or '90s, something like that. So the mere fact that that game has carried over to this point is phenomenal. And the game that took it in the shorts was Final Fantasy VIII because I enjoy Final Fantasy VIII as well. But Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy, followed by Final Fantasy X. And I'm not just saying that because that's what I really like. I like Final Fantasy VIII, but I think 8 was behind 9 and 10. Bring Anthem back. Yeah, there you go, I guess. So, ain't nothing wrong with Anthem. I didn't care for it. But, doesn't it have a 60 FPS patch on PlayStation 5 now? So, some say it's the most valuable IP Square. You can't. I don't deny that. I don't deny that. So, it's extremely popular. The release date is 2/29. Jenna Hayes says, "Yeah, that's what I thought. For us regular folks picking up the poor man's version, that's when it comes out. Yeah. So yeah. And I'll be playing Helldivers this weekend. I'm sure I'll link up again with J-Dub and Mooch and a couple other people. That was fun. Well, we played it for a couple of hours. Certainly hope. Blaze. Blaze 4K is feeling better because he gave us the secret. Hey, go to the automations and choose a defense mission, put up a bunch of towers. There you go. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10, all amazing. Yeah, I'm not denying that. Final Fantasy VIII I thought was real good. But the problem was Final Fantasy VII is considered one of the greatest games of all time. That's a problem. Following in that game's footsteps, no matter what 8 did, it was going to struggle. You see what I'm saying? It was going to, because that's considered like Mass Effect 2, the video you're watching now, Mass Effect 2, it is considered one of the best sequels of all time in gaming. Like of all time. So, and when you have the flu, you got to lay down, man. Hopefully your son's feeling better. Is it possible we'll get Xbox first party games like something? Yeah, it is possible. I think you'll get Gears, and I think you'll get Halo Infinite, the multiplayer stuff. I think you'll get the multiplayer stuff, not the single player. And Gears, you'll get everything. Gears came out on the 360. It's like 360. I mean, Gears 1, 2, and 3, they could come. I think they will. So 1997. That's when Final Fantasy VII came out? Are you sure? It feels like it was earlier than that. I mean, well, maybe I'm confusing myself with somebody else because I thought I heard people talking about that game on the bus. People were talking about they cried when what happened with Cloud. So I guess that doesn't happen this time, so. So Kanye West said that to Taylor Swift, okay. Or to Taylor, okay. Xbox runs Anthem at 6. Yeah, well, again, you got to remember Xbox is closer to EA than Sony is. So, yeah, I had Final Fantasy 16, Resident Evil 4, Dead Space, and Gran Turismo 7, and Assassin's Creed Mirage, all sitting over there, except for Resident Evil 4, all in a box, still. And I'm getting Final Fantasy Crisis Core and Rebirth, hopefully on Friday. That's the plan, to pick them both up. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But all right, guys, I'm going to get on off here. I do appreciate you talking to me and listening to an old man ramble. But I'm going to get on off here. It's Wednesday, so I can watch Chicago Wednesday. It starts here in like 5 minutes. But I will talk to you guys later. I certainly hope you all have a good evening. If you all playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, hope you enjoy it. It does look like it's going to be a fun game. So I will talk to you later.